Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 847 of Screw the Commute podcast. This is another copywriting technique called Urgency and Scarcity. And this is also one of the most beautifully illogical techniques in copywriting. You'll see why later. And of course, this is part of the copywriting series based on copywriting901.com, the very comprehensive course that can help you sell enormous amounts of your own stuff. And it's the number one skill in my entire business career. And if you want to get to a back episode, we're starting this series at episode 836. So screwthecommute.com/836. And we're all the way up to 847. And we're going to keep on going with copywriting techniques. They're usually 4 or 5 minutes of hardcore stuff, but it's simple to implement. So check it out. And check out copywriting901.com. And if you like our training episodes, make sure you just go to screwthecommute.com/training. We have nearly 440 now training episodes on all kinds of topics. It's probably $1 million worth of free training. And of course, if you want one-on-one training in the most unique program ever, then check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com and pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate-free. Okay, let's talk about urgency and scarcity. Urgency is the need to move quickly to either gain something or to not lose something. Scarcity is a subset of urgency in that when something that's needed or wanted are scarce, it creates urgency to grab it while you can. Now, although I'm vehement about not lying about urgency and creating fake urgency, that doesn't mean this technique isn't beautifully illogical in that you can just make up parameters of your deal that make people move fast. You just pull them out of thin air. For instance, you might say the first 10 people who order will get the following extra bonuses, and then you list a bunch of bonuses. When I do something like this, I always get people emailing me to ask, hey, did I get in the first 10? Because it pushed them to action. And of course, it's limited to 10. That's the urgency and scarcity. Now, why is this beautifully illogical? Well, it's because in many cases, you could have said the first 7 people or the first 20 people, whatever. You basically pulled the number out of a hat. Another way to move people is time-based. In other words, order by midnight tonight and you'll get the cheapest price ever or something like that. This one doesn't even mention the time zone. That's why it's illogical, and it still works like a charm. And this one helps you save money, and the previous one about extra bonuses gives you extra bonuses. So you're gaining something or you don't want to lose something. Now, you want to do a double whammy? Well, check out this one. The first 10 people who order by midnight tonight will get the following extra bonuses. See, so first 10 or by midnight, so really squeezes people in. Let's make a decision now. Now, if they make a decision not to buy, I'm okay with that. That's the way of the world's in my business and anybody's business, really. But if they really want the thing, I need them to make a decision because too many things can get in the way later if you let them go on forever. See, so get them to make a decision now, one way or the other. Now, there are things you can add to the credibility of your urgency and scarcity technique. For instance, I do a lot of one-on-one consultations and frequently add them as bonuses to my products. I might say something like this. I can only fit 10 consultations into my schedule, so order now and get into that elite group. Obviously, there are only so many hours in a day, and everybody knows that. So mentioning it reinforces that the number 10 is what I could fit in is real. I mean, that's at least 10 hours out of my week, not counting the prep for the call. See, so it's very, very believable. Another example of this I've done lots of times is when I was transitioning from tapes, VHS tapes to DVDs. I had a big sale and I said, I have only 15 sets left of the VHS Wake 'em Up Video Pro speaking system. When they're gone, they're gone. All right. So people snapped them up almost before I finished typing the email ad. Okay. And it was credible because people knew VHS tapes were being phased out and DVDs are phased in. So they got a big bargain by buying the VHS ones. And I didn't have extra inventory laying around forever that are never going to sell. Did the same thing when I went from cassette tapes to CDs. And then when I went from DVDs to online video and CDs to MP3 audios. And when promoting my in-person butt camp, we do an early bird pricing. That's another urgency technique, which saves them money if they commit early. And early bird has a deadline, which creates the urgency. I also add credibility, a credibility factor by saying something like, we need to know how big of a room to rent at the hotel. So if you sign up early, you get the early bird pricing. See, there's lots more to urgency and scarcity techniques, but I wanted to get you started on this. And of course, every module that I talk about in this podcast series goes in really deep depth with video, examples, and loads of examples at the copywriting901.com course. And then you also get consultations with it to help customize it. But I can tell you that from 47 years in business that these techniques work and they move people to action to buy more of your stuff. So check out copywriting901.com. Includes a couple consultations. And if you want the whole shebang, which includes Copywriting 901 and hundreds of other perks of the program, my mentor program, check out greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. And I will catch you on the next episode. See you later.